can sit here all night, but we gotta go. You gotta go. We gotta go. We've got places to go.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of SimplyBe TV. I am Jessica Zweig, and I am so excited to be talking today to the amazing Dr. Julius Few, the founder of the Few Institute in Chicago. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is
I'm
so
excited to be here.
This is so exciting for me. You're an old friend, and we get to just sit and chat about your brand.
Love it.
And your business.
Love it.
So you have made an incredible name for yourself and built an incredible business with the Few Institute. You are your own brand. You're Dr. Few. How has your brand impacted your business?
Well, I think, and this embodies really what you are all about, and that's why we became such great friends a while ago. But really, I do embrace the idea that I am my own brand, and because of that, and because it really is a reflection of who I believe I should be, or hopefully the best version of who I should be, that really every day I strive to make that day count. So when I go to work and I do my thing, I want it to really, really reflect who I am, and really for all of those around me to be part of that.
One of the things that I've always loved about you and your brand is how authentic it is. We love to talk about this concept of being integrated. So what that means to us is who you appear to be, like what your social media says and what your press says, is what you are in real life. And that doesn't come, not everybody accomplishes that integration, and you do. And I'm just curious if that's ever something you've thought about, and if you have a sauce to staying authentic.
Yeah, I think that's a really keen observation. And for me, I work, as you know, very long hours at times, and I like being around people who I find stimulating. And what I realized a long time ago is the only way I'm going to get to be around people as a plastic surgeon being stimulated, and that means my patients, my clients, is really trying to draw on some of the smartest, most interesting people, and typically people who are smart, who are thoughtful, they will read through nonsense. And so if it's just an act, if you try to present yourself in your brand as a pure made-up act, and then literally at 5:01, you're out at the bar getting drunk, guess what? It's not going to work. And they will read through it, and then you've failed. So for me, I really try to walk the walk and talk the talk, and the nature of really what we are all about. And it started with this very basic concept, which was, guess what? Plastic surgery does not have to look crazy. It was a very simple premise. And at the end of the day, I say no almost as much, well, close, but almost as much as I say yes.
Totally.
Because again, everything has to be consistent with that brand.
That's an amazing, amazing response. I say that the clients and the partners and the things that you say yes to define you as much as what you say no to.
Absolutely.
So to that end, I've been to the Few Institute. It's a beautiful space. It's an experience when you go. It's a very warm, comfortable, inviting experience, which is you. You're warm, you're comfortable, you're easy to talk to. You have a whole team of people, amazing people that work for you, and it's your name, it's the Few Institute, but you might not get to see you, right? So how do you scale the Few brand with your people?
So I try to pick people who really, I think, have really scalability. And what I mean by that is really having somebody who is authentic, they're bright, they are intellectually curious, they want to grow and evolve as they're really in any environment, and especially in a work environment, and to really feel as if they're part of something bigger. And so that's really the kind of the environment that I've worked to cultivate. And my feeling has always been, look, if you can create and achieve something, you can run with it. So you can present an idea or a plan, which happens all the time. Somebody will say, you know what, I've got this great idea for social media. and this idea is X, Y, and Z. What do you think? And I'll look at it, I'll make sure they've thought it through, that it's not going to damage the brand.
Right.
And then I say, okay, you can run with it. And so it creates excitement, and at the end of the day, it does what I would want, which I had worked in a big institution before opening the Few Institute. And really the reason why I left was I felt I reached the limit of what that environment could do.
Sure.
I never want anybody who works with me to feel like they've hit the ceiling.
You and I have so much in common about the way we lead. I have a team myself, and I always say to them that I want to be led, I want to lead them the way that I would want to be led as an employee.
Right.
And I also love the quote. It reminds me of this quote: find people who are as passionate about your business as you are and get out of their way.
Absolutely.
Because that's really empowerment. That's how you scale, by elevating your people to represent not just you, but themselves.
Absolutely.
That's how you really effectively grow a business.
And then everybody has fun with it at the same time.
Exactly, and they get to grow, and that's in my opinion, the most rewarding part about it.
Truly.
Is watching
Truly.
them.
Truly.
So you've been around a little while. You're established. You're the top. Took a while to get there. You earned that. How has the Julius Few brand evolved over time?
So it's kind of surreal in many ways, but like you said, anytime you kind of chip away at something and you really stay true to kind of your calling and your brand, you can hopefully, continue to evolve and grow. And so for me, what has happened over the years, it's approaching 20 years of doing this.
Wow.
And so what happens, as I focused and I really wanted to be innovative, and that was an important part of all of this, is just the idea that, and this kind of happened probably 10 or 12 years ago, as I realized, I want to leave my mark on my specialty. Mm-hmm. I want somebody to look at what I've done as something that inspired them to then go on to create and build, even if they had nothing to do with the Few Institute.
Wow.
And so really that has culminated in me writing a textbook. It has culminated in me kind of developing things that now are kind of considered common practice in our space.
Wow.
And so it's pretty surreal to have somebody at a meeting say, oh yes, I did the Julius Few technique.
That's amazing.
So to me, that is a powerful thing. And then what ultimately has happened is, as I meet people who are used to going to the source, they don't want to go to somebody who has been the teacher, they want to go to the source. That has become my brand. So people will seek out and will do exotic things for me to be the one to look after them. And ultimately, that's a huge responsibility, and I try to carry it.
So tell me, what have been the challenges building a business around your name, if there have been any?
So the biggest challenge that I run into now, if I just boil it down, is I have more opportunity than I can handle.
The burden of opportunity.
It's the burden of opportunity, and for me now, it's like, you spend all this time trying to get to a point where you can be busy and you make your living and everything else, and now I'm at a point where literally I get opportunities that 5 years ago I would have killed for.
Sure.
And now I'm saying, I'm not sure if I want to do that.
Sure.
So that to me is the biggest challenge.
How do you determine what to say yes to or what to say no to, if you can even answer that?
That's probably the hardest thing to kind of answer, but I would say now it's all about what kind of moves me, what I'm going to enjoy. Like if I look at something as an opportunity, if I can tie it into something that is going to bring me pleasure or joy, then I will do it. If not, like for example, the worst thing somebody could do is invite me. It doesn't matter what they're paying me, to invite me to a place where I'm going to be miserable.
Sure.
I'm not going to do it.
It's not worth the money.
And I'm not going to I'll give you a classic example. So I'm not going to say what the surgery is, but there's a certain surgery that I never really loved doing. I happened to do it well, but it was never my favorite thing. And so I created a following for this particular surgery, even though it wasn't my favorite thing, but I did it.
Wow.
It was at a certain level where people really appreciated what it did. And I realized one day, you know what? There's no amount of money that would make this work. And so I put that theory to the test. I said, okay, I'm gonna charge X, which was 4 times what anybody else would charge for this thing. And there were still people who would want to do it. And so I realized at that point I had to just say, I will not do it.
Yeah.
I had to have the discipline to not do it.
That's
That's
an
the
amazing
reality.
story. I love that for so many reasons because, you know, looking at someone like you with the success that you've had, someone could say, well, he has the luxury of doing that at that point in his career. And what I took away from what you said the most was that you use the word joy, and you have the opportunity to follow your joy at any point in your career, no matter where you are, and that's your guiding force. That will always point you in the right direction.
Truly.
Right.
Truly.
It's so true. And I love that you operate, that's your North Star. That's what we say that all the time. What's your North Star? And for most people, it should always be joy. It should be what fills you up and makes you feel light and not makes you feel heavy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that story. That's a great story. Super inspiring. So we ask everybody this question. This is their final question. What does SimplyBe mean to you?
So to me, I read that as, well, at first I looked at your website.
Okay.
So that's what I thought it's what it
That's
should
a great
it's what it
answer.
should mean. This is what it should mean.
Then I'm doing a good job
Which
branding.
is a happy place.
Thank you.
To me, SimplyBe means just that. It's just be true to yourself, be true to your core, realize that at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself, and all that goes with that, people are going to be able to look at simply who you are, and that's what SimplyBe represents to me.
And you represent what it means to SimplyBe.
I try to.
You don't try, you just are.
Try to.
It's really awesome to talk to you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Before we wrap, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you and learn more about you?
I think the easiest way to learn about me is at fewinstitute.com. That's really what I'm all about. I also, as you know, I do have a not-for-profit that I started about 4 years ago. Yeah, I'll talk about it because that's a passion point also.
It's part of your brand.
It's the Few Initiative for Children, and that's at fewinitiativeforchildren.org. And this is a not-for-profit that we started a few years ago, and it's really focused on at-risk youth in the city, really centered around the idea that, number one, we want to give youth who are bright, capable, but in maybe a situation that's not their doing or making, an opportunity to have a voice, an opportunity to potentially go to college, and for us to support that, and then to really empower them to develop programs that will help really build or enhance their community. And so that's really what this is all about, and it's a way for me to not get so self-absorbed in what I'm doing.
Well, on that note, when we work with clients and we help them construct their brands, we get really focused and crystal clear on what their messaging is, right? That's branding. And it's always inclusive of humanity. Yes, they're professional and we're positioning them as the experts and the thought leaders in their field. That's why they're coming to us to help them with their businesses. But what really attracts an audience or a client or a customer to anyone is that humanity, is that emotional connection. What else fills you up and do you care about, beyond your business? And this is why you're a living, breathing example of what a true, authentic, personal brand looks like, which is why we wanted you on the show. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So thank you so much for watching today's episode of SimplyBe TV. If you love this video and you want to learn more about how to monetize your passion, enhance your digital presence, and make a career out of simply being you, then subscribe to this video and tell all your friends about it. I'm Jessica, and we'll catch you on the next episode of SimplyBe TV.
Turn up, let's go.